Okay, welcome to this edition of the Multimedia Chronicles. Wait a minute, where was the title? You didn't tell us what this one's about. What's going on? Oh my god, he's doing something different! Ah! I assure you there is no need for panic. I just thought I'd be a little sneaky this time around. Now, there was a number of things I was thinking of talking about in this next edition, such as Exo Squad, which, as you know, is I'm very excited is finally out on DVD, and I had some requests to maybe show a couple of clips from it and talk about the show in a little more detail, which, you know, I'm happy to do, but not this time. Another thing I was thinking of doing was, you know, Red Dwarf, the BBC sci-fi comedy series, great show, finally came back to TV after being off the air for 10 years. And they did a 3-part miniseries. It was great. I loved it. Fans are kind of divided, but, you know, fans have always been kind of divided when it comes to Red Dwarf. So what I was thinking of doing was doing an in-depth look at all 8 of the previous seasons, specifically with regards to the DVD releases of them. Because I have all 8 of them. This is it, right here. But now, another video, or possibly pair of videos I've been thinking of doing, as you know, is talking about good old Howard the Duck, and how the comic book kind of gets a bad rap because so many people hated the movie. So it's going to talk about some of the similarities and differences between the two, and why even if you hate this, you should check this out. But perhaps another time. Or how about my long-awaited movie review of The Dark Knight? And how, no, I don't think it's the greatest movie ever made. And no, I don't even think it's the greatest Batman movie ever made. That would be this one. Does that mean I didn't like it? No, far from it. I thought it was a great movie. I had a great time. I bought it on Blu-ray, so I must have liked it. But we're not going to talk about that today. That'll be another time. Speaking of movie reviews and comic books, how about The Watchmen? Which, of course, recently was in theaters, and I saw and thoroughly enjoyed. And I thought maybe I'd talk a little bit about how I felt it compared to the original comic book. But not today. I will button up my shirt once we get past this little intro, because I just realized it's been open this whole time, and I don't feel like redoing the whole thing. So I'll leave it unbuttoned for now, just to maintain consistency throughout this intro segment. No, as much as I know many of you are looking forward to all of those segments, not to mention more Dead Space, and any number of other things, there's one thing in particular I've been getting a lot of messages about, whether it be comments in other videos, comments on my profile, private messages, questions in the chat room, what have you. There's one thing, one question that you all want me to answer. Because, I mean, how many times have you found yourself in this kind of situation? When there's something strange in your neighborhood? When something's weird and it don't look good? Who you gonna call? That's right, folks. Ever since I teasingly showed it for a few fleeting seconds in my DVD update video, I have had more requests for an in-depth look at the Real Ghostbusters Complete DVD Collection than anything else I've ever posted. So we're going to dive right into this sucker, because I really wanted to show you guys that intro, because, I mean, it's a great intro, and I left it untouched. The only thing I added was the drums at the beginning, because that's not actually in the beginning of the intro, because I wanted to have it kind of lead in. Little editing magic for you. So yeah, it was basically untouched. I wanted to show you just how good these DVDs look and sound. And how else am I going to do that other than showing you a clip, right? I mean, what, are you going to take my word for it? No, you want to see for yourself. So there you go. Okay, so this thing has got some serious heft to it. Now, from the pictures, it looks like it's just massive. You know, it's huge. I mean, my God, look how huge that is. But in actuality, here, I'll grab Red Dwarf Series 8 here, just to give you a size comparison. This is just a standard 3-disc, well, it's a standard size keep case. It's got 3 discs in it, but it's the standard size of a keep case. That's how big the set actually is. It's just a little bit bigger than a standard keep case in height. So that should give you some size reference. That's something I never see anybody mentioning in any of the other videos, so I thought I would make a mention of that for you. Because I was thinking at first, like from the initial pictures I saw, that this thing was going to be massive, but then I saw it with the top off. Watch. Shrunk. There we go. And then of course it's 5 steelbooks inside, right? So the steelbooks, everybody knows how big a steelbook is. It's about the same size as a DVD case, just a little sturdier. So yeah, anyway, that's that. So okay. So that said, the top slides off very nicely. Let me just show you quickly here. Listen to that. That is like solid, sturdy cardboard. That's great stuff. And you see on the front, the ghost trying to saw through the logo. Yeah, you can actually see it a lot better this time. And let me just little bit of focus there. There we go. That's from one of the commercial bumpers. I should mention all the episodes include the commercial bumpers as well. And that's both the versions voiced by Arsenio Hall and the versions voiced by Frank Welker. Speaking of Frank Welker, there's a little lenticular thing of Slimer on the side there too, or on the back. And then inside, or on the side of the box here, since I went so long with the intro, this time around we're just going to take a look at the box, and then next time we'll dive into the steelbooks, okay? Well, I'll give you a quick peek at the innards, and then we'll dive in a little more detail in the next video. So there you see Slimer in the window, and just get to see around inside the firehouse. Slimer again. Slimer's everywhere. Slimer, Slimer, Slimer. And then if we go to the bottom here, just put the top back on. The bottom, of course, you have the Real Ghostbusters. That's actually the Real Ghostbusters from later in the season, because it includes Janine in her pink Ghostbusters outfit. Or later in the series, I should say. It's kind of interesting. So there's like later series Janine, and then in the window we have earlier series Janine. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit there. There we go. So that's Janine before they changed her character. Anyone who knows the history of the series will know the story behind that. And then on the front you have the Ecto-1 blasting out of the doors of the firehouse. Another thing that's kind of a misconception from some of the pictures is it looks like this is die cut and such, but it's actually not. As you can see in the reflection here, it's just smooth. It's just an illusion in some of the photos that make it look like it's a little more 3D than it is. But it's actually just a standard shaped box. See, you wanted thorough. I'm giving you thorough. Alright, so let's take a quick peek inside, and then we'll say goodbye! No, and then we'll do the next one tomorrow. Okay, so inside, of course, you have the 5 steelbook cases. Each one has the 4 Ghostbusters on it, and then Slimer. It's quite nice. And I just want to say right up front, this is the reason to get the complete series box. First off, you get the cool Firehouse box, which is nice. The main reason, though, is this bonus disc. Now, the 5 individual volumes are being sold individually, so you don't have to buy the whole set at once if you don't want to. But if you don't get the set, you miss out on this disc. Over 2 hours of content, it's actually closer to 3 hours, okay, of stuff. What's on it? Well, here's the big one. See if you can read this. Right at the top there, let me just put this down. Right at the top, the original promo pilot. You will not find that anywhere else. It's basically a 4-minute short which was used to pitch the show. And it's never been seen before, it's never been on television, nothing. Okay. And then you also got a commentary on that. You have extended interviews with all these people involved in the making of the show. You got DVD promo trailer, alternate series credits. Those are basically clean opening and closing credits, without the lyrics. So it's actually just instrumental. So it's pretty interesting to see that without the titles. So you can see the gorgeous animation of the intros, and then a whole bunch of other stuff. But this disc alone makes it worthwhile to get the complete series set, I think. I mean, no Real Ghostbusters fan should be without this disc. So there's some real gold on there. And then you also have, of course, the book, which you also don't get if you buy the individual sets. The book is invaluable. It's got an intro from one of the creators of the show. It's got episode-by-episode breakdowns. It has trivia and background information and story continuity information and stuff for every single episode. It tells you what the extras are on each disc. Yes, I said each disc, not just each volume. Pretty much every single disc in this set has extras, whether it be a commentary or an intro or something. It's just fantastic. So let's take a look here at the individual steel books. Give you a look at the innards later. So this is volume 1, which is available individually now. So quite nice. And on the back you have the Ghost logo. Over the course of the 5 volumes, he slowly gets sucked into the Ghost trap, which you'll see. So this, I'm just going to show you these real quick. So this is volume 1. This is volume 2. This is volume 3. This is volume 4. I like this cover, actually. It's really cool. It's kind of a variation of one of the old pieces of promo artwork they did, which I'll probably show you in one of the future videos. And then finally, volume 5. Now, volume 5 is only 4 discs. The others are 5 discs. And the reason, of course, is because they left this disc out. I saw some other reviews saying, I don't know why they left this disc out. It's like, well, I should think that's pretty obvious, because they want to get all your money up front. So buy the complete series set. If you do the math on it, there's really not a huge difference in price if you buy the individual volumes or if you buy it all in one set. Plus, Time Life has a payment plan, so you can actually break it up into 4 payments of $50 a pop, and it's a lot easier on the pocketbook that way. So there's really no excuse. If you're a Real Ghostbusters fan, you owe it to yourself to get the complete series set. But we'll talk a bit more about it next time, because this is already running really freaking long. Okay, see you next time, folks, for part 2, my in-depth review of the Real Ghostbusters Complete Collection DVD set from Time Life. See you next time. Oh, sorry. Sayonara. I didn't realize how much my sign-off means to some people. I got some very concerned comments and messages when I didn't say sayonara in a couple of videos recently, so I'm trying to make sure I say it at the end of every video now.